Ohayo gozaimasu.
Good morning.
So
Good morning, everybody.
Morning. We didn't do one of these last week because our little one was off nursery for a week. So we've been having quite a few adventures, haven't we?
Yeah.
You managed to take a couple of days off.
I took a couple of days off. How rare is that? I'm always in the workshop doing something. Just trying to get some bits done in between these really hot days that we've been having. Just darting in and out of the workshop, getting some bits done. But it's very rare that I'd actually take a whole day off, let alone two. So yeah, feeling pretty refreshed and ready to continue work on Project BedBug.
Yeah, so last week it was actually called a Bon Festival. It's when people usually go back to the places that they were born. Unfortunately, because I didn't realise this, but in Gunma, where we live now, Obon is actually, it was last week, but where my family live, it was in July, so I missed it. Just another one of those things that I can't get to grips with it being in different dates in different areas, because you kind of think like, if it's this week in Gunma, it will be that week all over Japan, but it's not. So it seems like each area, I did have a look online and it said the closer that you get to Tokyo, they seem to have them more in July rather than August. So we did miss my family's one, but hopefully for next year I remember. So it's basically a time when people go back to their family home. They make lots of food. They do something like they collect, it sounds a little bit strange, they collect their ancestors from the cemetery. So they go there with a lantern, they light a candle, and they bring them back to the house, and they make really nice food for a few days, and they offer it to, I think it's called Hotoke-sama, isn't it? When they turn into, it's like an angel.
I don't know.
In the Buddhist religion. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but this is what we used to do when we were young. And if the candle goes out on your journey from the cemetery to the house, you have to go back. So windy days, it can be really, really difficult, but it's a time when you remember the loved ones that are no longer here with us. And it's really nice, I think, that they dedicate a few days a year to just spending time together as a family. I guess it would be kind of compared to Christmas in the UK. You know, everyone gets together and they eat together, make offerings, spend time with the family. I don't think they give gifts, but
I think whether you believe in it or not, it's actually a nice thing to have.
Definitely.
You know, it's a good excuse to meet up with friends and family, isn't it? So,
yeah. Hi, Anora, and hi, Corey. Yeah, we do have some sunshine. So also they've got something called Bonodori, which is a dance, and it's specific to each area of Japan. So we have, my family in Saitama will be in September, so we're going to go back for that one. We've had some around here, haven't we, that we found by mistake.
Yeah. I'll try and put a bit of a culture clip in one of the next videos, maybe.
Yeah. It's really nice because each place has got a different type of dance, and I think each movement signifies something, but it's again something that I have to look more into. And where else did we go? We went to an amusement park. And
that was amazing. Yeah.
Our little one, just like her dad likes vehicles, it seems.
Yeah.
She wanted to go on the aeroplane ride 5 times.
5 times, yeah.
And the helicopter ride, and
I mean, the great thing with these amusement parks, they're not like the big ones you get in the UK. They're little parks that were probably built in the late 70s, 80s, around that kind of boom time, and some of them have actually survived. So the rides are very old and very traditional, a bit shaky.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, a bit shaky, but it surprises me how these parks have actually stayed open. The rides are ridiculously cheap.
What was that one called? Mirai something, wasn't it?
I've got a photo on my phone.
Yeah, it's
Mirai Park, maybe.
Yeah, it's in Isesaki, and the rides range from 70 yen to 350 yen. 350 yen for the roller coaster, which works out to about
How much is 70 yen?
about 35p at the moment.
About 35 pence.
Yeah, to go on the
35 pence
aeroplane.
to go on a ride at a theme park is ridiculously cheap, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It's very affordable.
So when she wants you to go on the aeroplane 5 times, you're like, okay, just go. So yeah, we've had quite an eventful week. And what's your updates with the BedBug?
BedBug updates. Well, I haven't really done a lot. I've been spending some time just in the back repairing some rusted areas, which I'll talk about in the next video. But what I do need to concentrate on BedBug is this rear area, which is totally unfinished, and there does seem to be an engine in the way. So I will have to remove the engine to carry on with the bits down the side. But not only that, I have an issue with the rear valance. I've got this valance here, and that's off a bus, which was fitted, but it did have a valance panel back here, but it was no good. So what I need to do before I take the engine out, just got to make a rear valance panel, secure the bumper iron mounts, and then I can get on with taking the engine out once I'm happy everything fits, I hope. And I'll be covering this in the next up and coming video.
That sounds quite complicated. Is it light enough for you to take out on your own?
We'll find out. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, in terms of power, I can't really offer you too much, can I?
Yeah, I mean, things like this, you know, it may seem complicated taking engines out, but when it comes to air-cooled cars, you just need a jack underneath, jack it up in the centre, just in front of the fault legs where the transmission is. Lift it up, put it on axle stands, make sure your wheels on the back are about 2 inches off the ground, and that'll give you enough clearance. Then use that same jack, bring it round the back and offer it up underneath the sun plate on the engine, undo your bolts, your fuel line, accelerator cable, heater cables, etc. And then you'll be able to withdraw the engine. And luckily for me on BedBug, I've got a load of clearance at the back here, so I won't have to worry about it getting caught up on the gearbox studs. So that's good as well. So I don't need any specialist equipment, but I will need to get the balance sorted first. And then we can get this engine out and have a good look at it. I won't be doing any real mechanical work on this. The customer just wants it tidied up. We know that the engine runs. If it does need more work, then we'll cross that bridge.
Craig says, will the cover seals interfere with the struts as they open and close? Should they have spaces added to push them out a bit so not to interfere with the seal?
Yeah, you're totally right. With a project like this, everything is, I can move all these bits and pieces. I can move the brackets for the gas struts in slightly to create more room for the rubber seals. If I do put a rubber seal in, I am very limited to space. I mean, at the moment, I've got about 10 mil, and they do a 10 mil seal that sits in between it, so it should be okay. I might need to find a couple of mil, but that's just a case of slotting some holes. If I can get the seal to go down the side, we know that the distance from the cover to the framework is about 6 mil, so a 10 mil seal should be okay. Actually, it'll be a bit less. Once I've finished welding and bodyworking the actual tops, it may be maybe 4 mil gap that we need to fill, so I think a 10 mil seal should be fine. But yeah, good question.
Hopefully that answers your question.
It's a bit round the houses, that one, but yeah.
Yeah, that kind of, when you talk about this car stuff, it's like a different language. He says, excellent. It's funny because there's been a few comments about, because obviously we moved here from the UK, and there's been a few comments about me being fluent in Japanese. I wish I was, but I'm not at all. I do know kind of day-to-day Japanese, so it's just another thing where I think if you're ever thinking about moving to Japan and maybe the language is worrying you, I would definitely 100% without a doubt say the more Japanese you know, the better. It will help you so much with your life here and just day-to-day. But I mean, it's still possible. I mean, your Japanese isn't, it's not.
No, my Japanese has actually got worse, believe it or not, since I've been here, and that's hard to believe. I spent ages learning Japanese. I'm not very good at learning languages or even speaking, but but I did spend a long time learning the basics, and as soon as I got here and then I'm in this workshop, I don't actually communicate with anybody, and I think that's a big part of learning Japanese, is to actually talk to people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when I didn't even anticipate this, but when you're in a workshop by yourself, you tend to kind of forget about languages, and then when you do go to use it, you kind of stutter and you can't remember the words, and
it is scary.
It is very scary, yeah.
You're always worried about saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you don't want to insult anybody either. I mean, that's you know, the Japanese language is, if you are learning it, you'll notice that there's different tiers.
Well, there was that word, wasn't there, furin, that I was telling you about. Furin, furin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
furin, we went to see some wind chimes which are called furin, and the word furin apparently means affair. So if you just don't stretch that first letter out enough, you could be saying something completely different. So I think it's just little things like that that a little bit
Yeah, you've got to be
worrying.
careful, because of the topic of this, the topic of the what you're trying to talk about would totally change if you're trying to talk about wind chimes and then they think you're talking about having an affair. So yeah, you've got to be real careful what you say.
Yeah, Stephen says hi, or I'm guessing
Stephen.
Stephen's from America. Yeah, so you did recently download the Duolingo app, though, didn't you?
I did. I used Duolingo many years ago, and I have actually downloaded it again. And in the evening, when I've got a second, and I'm trying to put the little one to sleep, I try and do just a little bit, maybe 30 minutes.
Oh, that's quite a lot.
So, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that if I can just keep my brain ticking a little bit, I might be able to remember things.
You do watch some Japanese programs as well,
I do,
don't you?
yeah. I try to watch a bit of like, I don't know, the real life kind of Japanese, like a film as opposed to anime. But
Do you know what you should watch?
Try and watch a bit both.
You should watch Terrace House.
Apparently, Terrace House is really good for learning Japanese.
It's great for, because it's everyday Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyday Japanese, they don't actually teach you in a Japanese class. They'll teach you business Japanese, which is called the mass form, which is very polite and you can use it anywhere. But if you're talking to family and friends, it may come off as a bit weird that you're using a polite form when they're using a casual form. So yeah, just remember that. Something like a casual form, you'll probably be able to pick up on a Japanese program like Terrace House.
I don't think you could understand some of my Japanese when you first heard me speaking Japanese.
We're on totally different kind of...
Yeah, my Japanese was very casual, so my husband, he kind of needed to learn the casual, where I was speaking so casually and I had to kind of think quite hard to make it into polite Japanese. Hi Garth, he says konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to download Duolingo as well, because you said it's improved, didn't you?
Do you know what, Duolingo, I mean, like, the last time I used that must have been, 4 years ago? Oh, longer. We went on holiday and I lost my streak.
So that was 5 years ago.
5 years ago. And I didn't really use it after that. And then I recently downloaded it and it's got a lot more depth to it. And there's a lot more things. Obviously, if you want to kind of, you know, make it better, you have to pay for it. At the moment, I'm not totally convinced, so I'm not going to pay for it. But I may do. It is looking pretty good.
Yeah, the adverts can be quite annoying, can't they?
Yeah. Like my adverts on the videos. I do apologise about that. They just pop up, don't they?
They seem to pop up halfway through your sentence
Yeah,
sometimes
I'm trying
as
to
well.
talk and then suddenly they go, put an advert in there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's coming along. So anyone who kind of wants to move to Japan and the language is putting you off, I wouldn't say let it put you off, but I would say try your best to learn at least the basics, because it is hard. And I think when you come to Japan, as long as you can learn to write your name and address, then it's kind of plain sailing, isn't it, with all the registration stuff and things like that. Phone number, name and address, and then...
Yeah, I still struggle.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult.
I'm just no good with languages. I never have been.
Well,
It was very difficult. I did tell you a story that I learned French at school, and I also learned Spanish, and it was in the same classroom with the same teacher. So I actually had this really cool combination of French and Spanish at the same time. So it was just a muddle of both languages mashed into one. For some reason, my head couldn't separate them.
It's more difficult if you've got the same teacher as well.
It was the same teacher, the same classroom. So I got all in a muddle, and I had this French-Spanish combo thing going on. Yeah, I mean, it might have been entertaining for the teacher, but it didn't do well for my grades. So.
Yeah, but Japanese it's a whole nother level, isn't it? I don't think there's many languages in the world that's got 3 alphabets.
Yeah, it's a totally different way of learning. Yeah, it was to me like an alien language, and you know, hats off to anybody who attempts it and succeeds, because it is out of all the things I've done in my life, it is probably the hardest.
It is really hard.
Trying to learn Japanese. I mean, it's I know some people can just pick these things up. I'm not one of those people. I have to have things drummed into my head for a very long time, and then I'm very forgetful. So yeah, it's just swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Really.
There's actually a method called it's the Heisig. He's a professor. And he's rewritten the way that people learn kanji, which is not the traditional way of learning kanji in Japanese. Sorry, that's the 3rd alphabet. And I found that way a lot easier. I don't think you've tried it yet.
I haven't tried it.
But it's basically breaking down each letter into different elements and memorizing each element. So when you see a certain element, you'll know it's related to water, or you'll know it's related to wood, or you know it's related to fish, for example. So you have an idea about what you're reading. You can't quite read it in Japanese, but you can kind of understand sentences. But I know this is a car channel, so if anyone wants to know more about that, I just comment, because this is the method that I used when I was studying Japanese at university. So what's the next plan anyway for what are you doing now?
So I'm going to make, I'm starting to mark out a balance panel, an extension panel for the back. But let's have a question. What is your first car? You watching now? I'm really interested in this. I mean, my first car was a Vauxhall Astra in the UK. There was lots of them. It was extremely cheap, and it came with a spare door for some reason. But hey, I love that car to absolutely bits. Everyone loves their first car. Unfortunately, it was involved in a little bit of an accident, but it wasn't my fault. Somebody drove into the side of me, and it got written off. And I was devastated, because I'd spent all my pocket money, you know, making this car nice, and then it was gone.
It's
but
sad.
now, you know, part of me is thinking, I would really like to own that car again. But if you know anything about Mark 1 Astras, you'll know now they are an absolute fortune to buy. Whoever thought that kind of car would become a cult car. But yeah, I'm interested. What was your first car?
Do you know what my first car was?
Your first car was a Rover Metro.
Knightsbridge.
Rover Metro Knightsbridge edition. I believe that had velour trim.
And a heater, which I didn't realise for the first two.
Oh, it had a heater?
I thought it was too old to have a heater. And then one day I was like, oh, it's warm. You can tell.
Power steering?
No, power steering.
I didn't have any power steering.
Yeah, me and you are so opposite when it comes to cars. I basically know nothing about cars, and you know everything about cars.
I know a little bit about cars. But a lot of my knowledge comes from owning really bad cars and having to fix them on a shoestring budget. And yeah, and as far as learning curves and breaking down a lot and fixing things at the side of the road, a old Vauxhall Astra was #1 for teaching me.
Garth says, how many hours have you spent on the BedBug so far? That's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually keeping tabs on how long we've been spent on BedBug, and at first it was relatively easy because I knew how many hours I'd spent in the workshop. And then what happened is we had this massive heat wave which just doesn't seem to disappear. It's relentless. And what's been happening now is you know, an 8-hour day is turning into a 5-hour day or even less, or I'm doing a job and I can't think straight because I'm getting too hot. I mean, as I mentioned before, it hit 52 degrees, and at 52 degrees, that's it. I'm really struggling.
You're basically boiled.
I was boiled, and you know that old saying where it's measure twice, cut once, and I was making little mistakes here and there, and that was costing me time. But yeah, it's been quite a while. I think we're probably what, 3 months in now.
Yeah.
But we are getting ever so close to the bodywork stage, and then bodywork stage done, and then it'll be primer stage, then it's paint stage, then it's fitting up stage. So we're actually, I reckon, past halfway already. So the end part depends how long I spend on it, but I'm sure we'll get it looking pretty nice.
So Garth says his first car was a Hillman LMP 875cc.
Oh no, IMP, Hillman Imp.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, Hillman Imp, excellent.
Sorry, not limp.
Well, some people may say that it's called a Hillman. That is actually quite a cool car, and they have got a really good fan base as well. Yeah, people still love those.
And Craig's first car was a 1979 Ford Granada. It was originally my parents' car as they bought it new. When they passed it down to me at 16, they put some nice wheels and new tyres on it. I turned 16 in 1985.
That is cool. An old Granada. That's quite a big car for, you know, for a young lad to, you know, to have.
Oh, I don't know what it looks like.
I'm just trying to wrap my brain if it's, what is it, Mark III Granada? Would it be a Mark III on that year? But they are cool. I'm a big fan of old Fords, but I've never really had a chance to mess around with a Granada. But I like that. What happened to it?
So Russell said, good morning from Melbourne. So can I ask, what is your husband's best pickup line and how he won your heart? They're all crap.
They're all really bad.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you were so intrigued on how bad my pickup lines were that you didn't ever want to leave.
I stuck around.
You stuck around thinking it can't possibly get worse.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
It's a funny question.
Did we have a pickup line?
No, I don't think so.
Did you have a pickup line?
No, I don't think so.
It was just, you said, get your coat, you've pulled, wasn't it? And, and then you walked off, and that was it.
And then your coat had a hole in it.
Huh?
And then your coat had a hole in it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so Russell, what was your first car? Oh my gosh, what is the temperature today? Is it 34?
Currently we
35.
are 35.4 degrees, and it's starting to warm up. It's quite early in the morning. So what's that, 9:26?
Yeah. Craig said no, it was standard. The transmission went out and we sold it instead of fixing it. Wish we'd have kept it. More of a mid-sized car for us Americans.
Wow. So what was that then? What did Craig have?
He had a is it IMP? Is it?
What, in America?
Hang on a second.
Ooh, hang
Am
on,
I getting confused? Yeah, Craig. Oh no, sorry, Ford Granada. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up as well. Both are cool cars, regardless.
Stephen says, what is your favourite food to cook? You don't cook.
I do cook occasionally, but I'm kind of the guy that looks what's left over in the fridge and rustles something up. But do you know what? In the UK, I really enjoyed making roast dinners.
Oh.
And
so
I thought I was getting pretty damn good, if I may say so myself.
In Japan, they don't have ovens.
They don't have
It's not a
ovens
standard.
in Japan. They do, but you would never find one in a traditional Japanese house. The closest thing you're going to get to an oven is a microwave oven.
Or your
something
workshop.
Like that. Or my workshop. I could probably cook stuff just here. But yeah, they just don't have ovens. They have no need for ovens. They don't have roast dinners. A lot of their food, for instance, is grilled. So you'd have a cooker hob with a built-in grill for cooking your fish, and they eat a lot of vegetables. It's quite healthy. You know, in the UK, you're more likely to see a big oven, an air fryer, a deep fat fryer, things like that. But in Japan, it's rare, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
so last week we were both of us were really like, we cannot do rice anymore.
Yeah, we were all riced out.
It was completely, it was stressful just to think of rice. So luckily, there was one shop that sold tacos, but I think it was in Saitama, wasn't it? It wasn't in this prefecture.
Yeah.
But we found tacos on Amazon. And we keep ordering them, and one of our neighbours, we have got a really nice neighbour who keeps giving us tomatoes, and we keep buying a packet for him, and then we just keep eating it and ordering it again. We still haven't given it to him. I think it's months now, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel really bad. I feel bad that we keep eating someone's present, but
But you just get to that point where you can't eat rice anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have had that, where you've eaten something for so long that you just think, I just can't do it anymore. I mean, rice, Japanese people can eat it 3 times a day.
Yeah, they have it for breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, dinner, no problem. But as we're from the UK, I think we are different. We wouldn't have rice 3 times a day.
You'd almost be like, oh, I had rice yesterday, I'm not having it today.
That's right. Yeah. You had rice a couple of days ago. Let's have chips.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So last week was quite a bad one for the rice, but we're back on it. We're back on it from yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah, we're back on it now. We're back on the rice.
Actually, the price of rice doubled in the last year, didn't it? It was all over the Japanese news. This is major news for Japanese people.
I did hear a story about why the rice kind of jumped up, and I don't know if this is true or not, but they had a massive... There was loads and loads of people coming to Japan on holiday,
yeah,
and they
I heard
were
that as well.
eating a lot. And what was happening is the rice was running out, and they had to import the rice from other countries just to kind of pick up the slack a bit. But yeah, I think even now the rice is still quite expensive to what it was.
So the yen is very weak at the moment. So I think it's a record number of tourists coming, because obviously, you know, at the moment, I think you can get, for £1, you can get 198 yen, something like that. So basically, everything you buy feels like it's half price. Lots of tourists have come in, and it has created a shortage of rice. It's going down slowly, but it was almost like every day it was on the news, because obviously Japanese people love rice, and it was almost like if there was a politician that was going up for election, they would say, we'll keep the rice price low, and they'd probably get loads of votes. It was kind of like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
William's here. Say hi. Garth says, I owned a Ford Granada back in the 80s because the top TV show at the time was The Sweeney. With Dennis Waterman and John Thor. I thought I was dead cool.
Yeah, and I think it still is. Oh, I love those. I love those old TV shows, and the cars that are in them. It was just great, wasn't it?
I don't know them.
No, you don't. But
I think my oldest TV program was definitely. I loved Keeping Up Appearances. I loved that program.
Keeping Up Appearances didn't Onslow drive a Granada?
I don't know.
It could have been a Cortina. It might have been a Cortina or a Granada. I'm gonna have to Google that at some point. That way I'll lose sleep over that. But I'm sure he had a car like that.
I actually bought the box set.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as buying the box set.
Craig says, Russell, manuals are so rare these days. My Granada was also a manual 4 on the floor. Pretty sure that's why my transmission went out, as I like doing burnouts a bit too much.
Yeah.
You tried to do that with my car when we were going up that mountain.
There's nothing big and clever about burnouts, but they're just cool, aren't they? It doesn't matter, just lots of smoke, lots of wheels spinning, and it's great. I mean, that's what your first car's all about, is just ripping the tyres up. No?
Not for me, no.
Okay.
I just... Gar says Onslow MK4 Cortina 1.6.
Is it really?
How do you know that, Gar?
Just someone Googled it before me. Onslow did have it. Yeah, that Cortina. No way. He also had a string vest thing, didn't he? Gareth?
Yeah, that was his kind of trademark, wasn't it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, didn't Hyacinth have a Rover? You know.
She probably had a posh car, I'm guessing. She had that cordless telephone as well.
That was it. Yeah, do you remember those with the big aerials?
Yeah. That was a big thing back in when we were young, wasn't it?
Cordless telephone. I don't think I knew many people that had a cordless telephone. It's just giant aerial hanging off it.
Yeah, it was. My mum actually got one because the reason why she got one was because me and my sister got hold of the shoe polish while she was on the phone, and we stuck it everywhere. And she was like, "No, I just have to buy one so that she could watch us while she was on the phone."
Oh.
Stephen Dodd says, "What is your favourite car?"
My favourite car at the moment, always changing. Two favourites. I do like a AE86 Toyota Corolla, like the Fujiwara Tofu Shop Initial D style, and a 240Z. I really, really want to get my hands on a 240Z. Datsun or Rotsan, no matter, you know, they're pretty bad. And even in Japan, the 240Z is quite rare, and they are very rusty, and a lot of people are actually importing them from America. So there's a lot of left-hand drive 240Z, so they're getting re-imported, which is weird, considering that's where they're made.
We kind of have a general rule, don't we? Any car that I hate, you like.
Yeah, that's right. So she's guaranteed to hate both of these iconic classics.
Russell says, ugly grey, large boot, tail lights that went all the way across the back, twin headlights, bench set seat.
Wow. I mean, isn't that just the coolest thing? They just don't do stuff like that anymore.
See, I think I understand that feeling. Like, I can look at a car and think it looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's not like I hate cars or anything like that, but I think what we see as a pretty car is very, very different.
Yeah, that's right. What I like is I like unique cars. So if you imagine pulling into a busy car park, you've parked your car and you've done your little bit of shopping and you've gone back and you've lost your car because it looks the same as the car next to it and the next one and the next one.
That'll be
and
my
all
Raze,
the cars. Yeah, Toyota Raze that you want is the same thing. You will park it next to another Toyota Raze and there'll be oodles of them, and you'll be going around, you'll be looking for your car with your blipper because there'll be 4 white ones over there. So imagine having a car that's so unique, or it's, you know, it's so rare that it just sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's kind of where I'm at with these kind of cars.
I didn't tell you.
Never lose it in a car park.
There was a car in Ladan the other day. Someone was taking a photo of it. I don't know what it was, but it was a little car that they'd obviously really made it unique. They done lots of modifications. But do you know what I loved about it?
What?
It had a Gunmachan number plate.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's, I don't know if anyone knows in Japan that each area, it has, it's like a mascot. And so the mascot for this area is called Gunmachan. So the kanji, the characters for Gunma, the second character means horse. So they've decided to make a horse as the character for this area. But you can actually get number plates with the character on them. So this person, they made it look really kind of sporty and cool and did lots of modifications. And then you see this cute little number plate. It's a shame we don't. We do actually want to get one day, don't we?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll get one of these number plates. Interesting enough, though, you can also get a illuminated number plate where the letters, the numbers, are illuminated. They're backlit, like an LED number plate, and it's totally legal. And you can pay a little bit extra and get that on your car.
What, with a Gunmachan?
Not with a Gunmachan.
Oh, okay.
So
So
yeah,
that's
or
the
you
one
can
you
get
have.
ones that are like cartoony, but. Isn't it weird how even the people that issue the number plates also cater for modified car guys?
Yeah, you just have to let them know in advance what you want. Actually, I have got. So this is actually Gunma-chan. He's a Takasaki it's his station apparently. So we've been having lots of fun with activities. I think it's throughout the summer for kids because obviously it's the summer holidays. So made an appearance on Sunday, didn't he?
He made a guest appearance. I did take some footage, so I will leave it at the end of one of the up and coming videos. One thing that interested me, if you imagine somebody dressed up in a costume, obviously you know, it is Gunma-chan, but the amount of adults that were there and not kids. So at the front, the kids were kind of sat down. There was like
probably one row of kids.
One row of kids, but then there was rows and rows of adults, and they had all their merch with them, their cuddly toys and their keyring strapped to their bags and things. Socks, slippers, the whole shooting match. And it just amazes me how this cutesy culture in Japan, it doesn't have an age restriction. You know, it starts, I think it starts when you're a kid and you get into these characters and it never ends.
But I kind of think, because I did question myself, didn't I? I was like, would I be here if my daughter wasn't here? And you said yes, definitely.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You're a super fan.
So I might be a super fan as well. So Russell says, Aussie dollar, not that great against the UK pound. Very expensive to travel there too. And Chevy 5 Speed says, hi. Oh, so it's expensive to travel from Australia to the UK, I guess.
Oh, God, the UK, even if you're in the UK, is extremely expensive at the moment. I've got a lot of friends and family there, and they're really, really feeling it.
Yeah, they are.
It's becoming quite scary. You know, the cost of living, it's almost as if they can bump the price up of everything around, and that's just how it is. And people have to deal with it, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are having a real hard time. So yeah. I'm hoping that the UK will do something and, you know, almost try and promote people coming, you know, going to the UK. But the problem is at the moment they have got a lot of problems. So it may not be the right time to go on holiday there.
No, I probably wouldn't.
So get them to turn the airplane round and go to Japan.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, and I think Australia is not too far from Japan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a lot of Australian people that come to Japan just to go parts picking.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and in Japan there are just oodles of you know, accessories, parts for, you know, cars, and they're coming over and they're buying things like bucket seats and wheels and then shipping them back, which is a great idea, because if you get that kind of JDM part in Australia, and it'll just look really cool if you're into that kind of stuff. But a lot of people do that. They come over here to go shopping for car parts. But yeah, it's great. But then a lot of Americans have been coming over. I think it's that 25-year rule. A lot of those drift cars now are 25 years old, so they've been buying them up and taking them back to America as well. So, you know, they can get their Skylines legally now, and unfortunately it has affected the Japanese market. The Japanese market's kind of gone mental when it comes to the prices of those kind of drift cars, but, you know, maybe in the future we'll get hold of something like that.
Well, you always offer your friends in the UK, don't you? If there's any parts that you can get for them.
That's right. I've got a lot of friends in the UK that are into JDM cars, and there's quite a few of them that are interested in importing cars as well. But I need to do a little bit more homework on that. I would like to do, you know, send a car over, post it over from Japan to the UK, because the resale value of these cars in Japan. In the UK is a lot more. They've reached a lot of money. But unfortunately, as I said, they're expensive to buy.
But even, do you remember when the Toyota Rays, that car that I keep going on about?
Yeah, it's a nice car.
When we changed the price into pounds, it wasn't that bad at all. A lot less than we expected. Was it about £13,000?
Yeah, I mean, compared to buying a new car, well, this car is not available in the UK, but if it was, it wouldn't be a price like that. I mean, 13,000 in the UK, you're barely going to be able to buy a reasonably priced car.
What was that? Mitsubishi Mirage I had. That
You
was
had
about £12,000 and it was already used. I know it was only a
Yeah,
little bit, but
it seems like a lot of money, but even when you sold it years later with a lot more mileage, it still kept its value. But the prices of the car market in the UK is just weird, isn't it? It's expensive to buy good second-hand cars now. It really is.
has anyone got any more questions about cars or moving to Japan, learning the language, festivals, anything that we could maybe help with? Because we're probably going to log off in a little bit. We're definitely not experts, but we've gone through you are at cars, but we've gone through the process, so we kind of may be able to give some advice. Craig says that El Camino you saw while out and about was in really good shape. Too bad you aren't able to get it and give it another chance at life. It was in too good of shape to just be sitting alongside the road. There's so many like that, isn't there?
That El Camino was really clean, wasn't it? You could see that it'd been sat a while because there was leaves and dirt on there, but it had its number plates on there, which means that it could still be registered to be on the road. And believe it or not, there is a lot of American cars in Japan. They love them. And so there's still a chance in the future we might get hold of something like that. I mean, that would just be really cool.
Craig says it was very clean.
Yeah.
But there's lots of, usually they're without number plates, aren't they, when they've been abandoned?
That's right. Yeah, we have found, I mean, it's a shame I haven't videoed a lot of these cars, but you will, if you ever try, well, if you drive around Japan, and I'm not talking about in the cities, I'm talking about the outskirts, if you're driving along, and you may see just a whole bunch of cars at the side of the road, all with no number plates on. And they're pretty much at the end of their life, and they've just been put there, and they will sit there, and you could go past years later, and
They've
that
just
same
got
car,
weeds growing through them and plants. And
we saw a car. When did we go travelling?
2019.
So 2019, we were driving around Gunma, and we found a Volkswagen Jetta 16 valve. And it was just parked up outside this garage, and it was really moody looking, but I was like, wow, it is rare to see a 16 valve Jetta. They're just old now, and you know, they're long gone. And then weirdly enough, we have found the same garage years and years later, and the car is still there, but this time you can barely see it. The weeds have grown right the way over it. I would like to go back there and do a video on that.
Which garage is that?
Jack's Farm.
Jackson.
Yeah. So Jack's, yeah. So I'd love to do a video on that, because I think I've got the original photos from when I first saw that car and what it looks like now. And I did mention, you know, when I spoke to the guy about that car, and he kind of brushed it off like it was, yeah, you know, it's too far gone. But as we all know, nothing's too far gone. So
no.
But that would just be. There's some just crazy cars at the side of the road.
So Russell says, I was on my probation license. The farmer's fence didn't like me. Had an altercation on a wet dirt road. My poor 1970 Toyota Crown came off second best. My father wasn't impressed.
Oh, wow. Actually, Toyota Crown, that is a cool car.
They've still got them now,
They've still got them. Okay, they look totally different. They're a lot bigger, and I'm guessing they're a little bit, you know, a lot more luxurious, but that is it's still really popular.
Is that the ones that they use for taxis, or is that something else?
Yeah, they use them for taxis, but they've also got, but they use the older shape ones.
It's so weird.
Shape.
You see the old style Toyota Crown, and it says Uber on the side of it, and it's just so.
But do
it's
you
so
remember
modern
we saw
and
that like almost like a space age, like sleeky looking car towards a garage, and it had Crown written on the back. They've turned it into some kind of.
Isn't that the one our friends got?
It almost looks like a Prius, but it
looks very
really
luxurious.
It's quite an amazing thing. So they still have the same car available in lots of different flavours, but I think the old school ones are just so cool.
Yeah, I think my grandparents might have had one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
But back then they used to put curtains on the windows.
Yes.
And put velvet on the seats.
Yeah, and like white seat covers, like not doilies. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
A kind of like floral pattern. I over the headrests.
Yeah.
Lace, that's it, lace, and some nice curtains, and a tissue box on the back parcel shelf with a cover on. Obviously, you need a tissue box cover because everyone needs a
But
tissue.
I really used to, when I was a kid, I used to think this is luxurious.
It is luxurious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my uncle was always into Honda Civics. He always had a Honda Civic, and then it was, unfortunately, he passed away, but before he did, he had a Honda N-Box.
Oh,
so,
a little K
so
car.
he went to a K car, so he had spent all his time driving these Honda hatchbacks, and then he was so excited about this N-Box. He was showing me that where he parked in his driveway was so tiny that you couldn't get out the driver's side, but it had a bench seat, so it was easy. He could just like shift over and get out the other door, and he was so impressed with how it was so well designed that it just blew him away. And even our little car, it's amazing. I mean, having just this, pockets and space. And
It's weird because for me, obviously, I'm not that good at driving. It's good for me to park and things like that. But when you're inside it doesn't feel small.
It doesn't
I think
feel
because
small.
the roof is quite high.
Yeah, they purposely made the roof higher to the amount of room you get in those cars. It's quite unbelievable, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of getting to that point where we're running out of time, aren't we?
Yeah, and I need to have a drink, I think.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit hot. What are we on? 37.7 degrees, and I haven't even started cracking on yet. So it's going to, I think today's going to be quite hot.
I think the whole
it?
week is hot.
Oh, the whole week.
Yeah. Right. So should we? Until next time.
Until next time, let's hope that we can get another live in at some point. It kind of breaks up a little bit of the week, doesn't it?
I think you said it motivates you as well.
It does, yeah. I mean, the thing is, when you have this kind of weather, your motivation, it goes down, doesn't it? And you think, oh, it's too hot, oh, I can't be bothered. But you need to do at least something, and that's what I've been trying to do. So I really want to create a video with more content, but it's become very, very difficult to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to get the enthusiasm and get.
Yeah, it's always
get
nice to hear other
out.
people's stories and ideas.
I
as
love
well,
it. I love to hear what you guys are, your car stories. I love them. I love to know what people used to drive, and all these kind of stories. They really kind of excite me, because if you're a petrol head, you remember all your cars, and they give you memories.
Yeah.
I
even remember my first car.
That's right, yeah, and it's a big deal, isn't it? It's a big deal passing your driving test and getting your first car.
Just on another note.
Oh.
When we first met, I had a Kia Picanto, which I bought new. It was the only car that I could buy new because they had the government scrappage thing at the time, and I think they gave you £2,000 off.
Yeah.
But when we met, and I told you that I didn't put any oil in the car, was it for 4 years?
It was pretty much never, was it? You kind
No, I
of had
did.
it serviced, but you never put any oil in yourself.
I did, I think once.
Okay. So basically the car had no oil for years.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you had to put oil in until I thought that the light on the dashboard meant, okay, you need oil now, but then you said that that's when it's too late.
Yeah, if you're into cars and your oil light does come on, if it's a Volkswagen and your oil light comes on, you're in trouble, because that oil light pressure switch, it operates on such a low pressure that by the time that comes on, you've pretty much got no oil in there, or there's a big problem, maybe fuel in the oil, etc. But with this little Kia Picanto, it was never really serviced. It didn't have any.
No, it had the first 3 years I did.
Oh, it had its first 3 years of service, then absolutely nothing for how long?
7 years.
7 years. So there you go. So you imagine a car driving along, and all you do is add fuel. No oil, no coolant, no nothing.
Oh, I did put windscreen washing.
Oh, it did have washer fluid, so that's a bonus. But I actually borrowed that car for a little while, didn't I?
Yeah.
And
but
it got written off, didn't it?
Yeah, but that's not because that was because I had an accident.
No, you had an accident and you got another car, and we had that kicking about, so I drove it for a while, and for a car, for an engine to be that some days it would pump out plumes and plumes of smoke, and I can only assume that it had a cracked cylinder head or something really nasty, something really bad was happening, but you could still stick the key in it and it would still drive. And that was just amazing how a Kia engine is that well built and it had that much of a hard life. You can imagine all the internal components being absolutely worn and it was still driving. And although it was plumes of smoke were coming out the back, it still sounded
It was going,
relatively
wasn't
good.
it?
It was still working. The clutch was on its way out. The levels were all over the place regarding the oil and the coolant and everything. But in the end, we got rid of it. But it's amazing how that company had actually put that much time and effort into building a really, really good engine.
And I put it through tests it probably didn't do there. So
yeah, I mean, I was absolutely blown away. I mean, I never really had high hopes of a Kia or anything like that. But
So Punto says, I had a 2007 Kia Picanto 1.0. It was pretty good, but when I bought it, the car had some damage, so I had to swap both drivers' side doors, amongst other things.
we may be talking about the same car.
Was it my one?
It might have been your car.
Was it blue?
No, I think yours was 2010, wasn't it?
I can't, no. It could have been
Did our friend Punto buy your car? That would be absolutely hilarious.
It could have been 2000 No, maybe it was a little bit later.
So we're pretty much talking around the same era of car, and yeah, I mean those panels were really soft. You had a light accident and it was squished, wasn't it? There was a wing and there was some.
But I just
damage.
want to add that wasn't my fault, that one.
No, of course, the accident was not your fault. Yes.
No, it wasn't.
No, I'm agreeing with you. It wasn't your fault.
Okay, the rest of the damage was, but that accident wasn't my fault.
Wow, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, so actually the Kia Picanto, the Kia is actually, it survived a lot of neglect, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely blown away still. I just can't get my head around it. I mean, I'm used to kind of German cars, and I do know how good they are, but also they have their limitations. And I'm not certain if, for example, even if that was a Golf and it was put through that kind of life, that it would have actually survived as well as a Kia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm absolutely blown away.
I did learn a lot from that though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult. You know, if somebody who says to me, what car do you recommend? I might even say that you might want to look at Kias. But interestingly enough, when we bought the Mitsubishi, the Mirage,
Yeah.
we went to a Kia garage to see what the replacement was, the new version of the Picanto was, and their prices were more than Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
So
but the Mitsubishi was a really nice little car, wasn't it?
it was amazing, and it's a funny car because that particular car in the States didn't have a good following.
No.
And they tried to, make it better as a cheap little car, but it just really didn't have the market for it. So unfortunately in America, I think they were going to discontinue that car.
Was it just the size? I think maybe American people like bigger cars.
It's possibly that, or maybe it's too much plastic, or maybe they had higher expectations of. I don't know, but personally, as far as a little modern car goes, I think that car was really good. You know, it did everything that you wanted it to.
Heated seats.
Yeah, it had it was a modern car.
Yeah.
It had the screen in the dashboard. It had nice fixtures and fittings. It drove really well considering.
Yeah.
You know, it's a budget little car, and it just ticked all the boxes.
That's right. Richard says, watching from Adelaide, Australia, we get the heat like that in summer. Very hard to work. Enjoying your channel.
Oh, great. Yeah, you guys must know. I mean, I'm not used to it. I'm from the UK. And something like this at the moment where it's 37.5, the UK would start to stop. I mean, in Japan, there's people that are 90 years old working the rice paddies out there, not battering an eyelid.
Yeah.
But when I don't think my body's quite used to it yet.
No.
But I have heard that this year has been.
I don't remember it being
hot.
like this last year.
No,
It
last year
this
wasn't
hot.
this hot. If you remember last year, I was probably doing bits on the Mirror project and the Beetle, and I didn't have didn't have the spot cooler or anything like that, and I managed to cope. But this year I'm struggling. Yeah.
Send it says cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
It's 21.1 Celsius in Seattle.
Oh.
I know. I think that would be jumper weather for us now.
Oh yeah, get that jumper on. Don't catch a cold.
I start to feel cold when it's 27 now. I think my body is slowly adjusting.
Yeah. I think it takes time, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay, so I'm going to go and have a drink and you're going to probably...
Yeah, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to crack on with this and I'll start doing a video. Hopefully we'll drop the video on the weekend. I know you guys are eagerly anticipating what's going to happen next with BedBug. Well, actually, so am I.
Punto said, I think this year it's been hotter overall in the UK for sure. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There was one year, it's just when our daughter was born, I think the hottest was 38 degrees in the flat.
Yeah.
But it was just for 2 days. This is just continuous, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone can probably handle, a hot day every now and then. But when it's relentless, it's just day after day, and it's day after day at 40 degrees, and that's 40 degrees. The temperature that's on my phone. So we already know that the workshop temperature will be more likely to be 43 to even 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's always
40.
more, isn't it?
So it's always more, and it's the heat radiating in the workshop, and you can have the windows open and you don't have any breeze. So it's, you go outside in the heat to actually cool down. How weird is that?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we're off.
Right, yeah, we're going to leave it there.
Hopefully next week, if ever, we can't plan these things because our daughter gets temperature and things so often, doesn't she? So we can't plan too far in advance, but we hope that we can do another one next week.
Yeah, well, hopefully...
Thank you, Punto. He says, enjoy your drinks and stay cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for tuning in. And
hopefully
we'll see you guys
next week.
next time.
Hopefully. See you.
Hopefully.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.